A fundamental pillar of spiritual study and philosophical analysis is the idea of the present moment as the sole concrete reality. The theory that life takes place just in the now questions human inclination to live in the past or forward projection. Many intellectuals and traditions have reflected a universal truth spanning civilizations and eras by means of their expression of this understanding. Renowned for his lessons on the power of the present moment and stressing its basis as the cornerstone of peace, freedom, and self-realization, modern spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle. Through clear language, Tolle's foundational book, The Power of Now, guides readers to identify and release the internal dialogue, keeping them caught in cycles of suffering. The popularity of the book reflects its resonance with people all around, transcending many backgrounds to address a common human experience, the struggle to connect with the present among the continuous mental chatter. Tolle's observations, though, are not isolated events. They reflect both contemporary psychology and even recent developments in neuroscience, as well as old spiritual traditions. These points of view taken together offer a comprehensive knowledge of why embracing the present moment is necessary for well-being and how the realization of this truth might lead to a life of clarity and emancipation. The lessons stress that people identify with their thoughts, especially the habitual internal dialogue that separates them from reality, hence suffering results. Tolle describes as the "I said to myself" construct a universal mechanism of the mind. Usually causing anxiety, guilt, or fear, it shows up as a voice remarking on, criticizing, or anticipating experience. People can start to distance themselves from this internal monologue and see its false character, so allowing a more deep connection with the present. Many spiritual and mystical traditions reflect this principle. Hindu philosophy holds that the Atman, or true self, is an endless essence existing outside the fluctuations of the mind. As stated in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, yoga offers a methodical way to calm the mind and reach a condition of samadhi, union with the present moment. Buddhist teachings also stress the impermanence of ideas and feelings, so promoting mindfulness as a means to ground awareness in the here and now. Tolle's observations also fit Taoist ideas, which support living in line with the Tao, the inevitable course of life. Often translated as effortless action, the Taoist idea of Wu Wei captures a state of being totally present and responsive to the moment, free from ego or mental constructions. Tao, emphasizing the need of separating attachment to past and future to experience the divine in the eternal present, Christian teachings of leaders such as Meister Eckhart speak to Tolle's message. Modern neuroscience offers a convincing scientific basis to validate these spiritual revelations. Research of the task-positive network, TPN, and default mode network, DMN, of the brain shows how the habitual patterns of the mind may eclipse the present experience. While the TPN engages when people are concentrated on tasks or totally submerged in the moment, the DMN is active during self-referential thinking, that is, when one worries about the future or muses over the past. Mindfulness techniques have been demonstrated to quiet the DMN, so enabling the TPN to activate and so support a state of flow or presence. Moreover, studies of neuroplasticity show how often practice helps the brain rewire itself. Regularly focusing on the present helps people to establish new neural paths, supporting mindfulness and lessening the hold of the internal conversation. This is consistent with Tolle's advice to anchor awareness and stop mental noise by emphasizing the sensations of the body or outside objects. Present moment awareness has transforming power not only for personal well-being, but also for society harmony and interpersonal relationships. People who reject the internal story of "I said to myself" grow more sensitive to others and their surroundings. This change promotes empathy, compassion, and a closer awareness of interdependence. This practice is not without difficulties, even if it is quite simple. Deeply rooted, often reinforced by society standards and personal conditioning, are the habitual tendencies of the mind. Breaking out from these tendencies calls for commitment, tolerance, and sometimes direction. Tolle stresses the need of regular practice and offers basic but effective exercises, including noticing one's breath, feeling the body's aliveness, and appreciating ideas free from attachment. Beyond the immediate advantages of mindfulness, closer study of the character of the present moment reveals a paradox. Though the now is felt as the only reality, it eludes exact definition. Efforts to identify the precise instant when the past gives way to the future emphasize the ephemeral and ethereal character of time. This insight allows one to have a more deep awareness of life in which the contents of the present moment, internal as well as external, are seen as emerging from a timeless source. Often understood as pure potentiality or nothingness, this source transcends past, present, and future conceptions. Meister Eckhart said, "Nothingness is the Godhead." From this vantage point, the present moment is the portal to the infinite and eternal essence of life, not only a temporal slice of existence. It is the venue from which all creation arises and finally returns. The road into this deeper level of the present moment calls for a readiness to let go not only ideas and stories, but also the very concept of time-bound life. It invites a radical change in viewpoint, whereby the personal self melts into the limitless awareness underlying every event. Often known as enlightenment or emancipation, this condition marks the pinnacle of many spiritual paths and the realization of Tolle's lessons. As Eckhart Tolle suggests, the present moment is a great study into the nature of reality, as well as a useful manual for leading a happy life. Embracing the now helps people to go beyond the constraints of the mind, rediscover their actual nature, and feel the peace and delight their birthright entitles. Whether one approaches the present from spiritual practice, psychological insight, or scientific knowledge, the road there is a universal invitation to awaken to the miracle of life. The fullness of life shows itself in the silence beyond thought, and the constant dance of life opens out in all its beauty and mystery.